think James Gunn could do any wrong?
I agree.
He's great.
James Gunn,
He's the man.
Look,
man.
all three Guardians of the Galaxies were fucking
phenomenal.
He knows how to make you care about characters that you never heard about.
I don't care about that dog.
A new player has entered the game, the discourse game, when it comes to the DC fandom and everything that's happening, which, you know, the discourse is just Snyder fans versus Gunn fans. That's basically what it is. Let's talk about this, because I did not think it was like, oh, wow, well, this is going to be a thing now. This is going to be a thing now. All right. Who's the new player that's entering the arena? Well, none other than Mr. Joe Rogan. There's even a discourse when it comes to him. I know some people hate him and think that he's like alt-right and all this kind of stuff and everything like that. I'm not one of those individuals. I listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, not all of them. It's mainly the podcast I listen is when he has a guest on that I know that, oh, well, that guy sounds fascinating, or it's somebody I like, or comedians or whatever the hell. But, you know, I'm not into really the MMA fighting and UFC and stuff like that. Not really like too much into it and stuff. But, you know, I've been following Joe Rogan since Fear Factor. I used to watch Fear Factor. That's when I found out who he was back in the, you know, early 2000s. Been listening to his podcast for a while. And, you know, and sorry, guys, I'm one of those guys. When I listen to podcasts and I listen consistently to various podcasts, I don't fully agree with everything the host says. Okay? I don't disagree with everything they say. I don't fully agree with everything they say. Okay? There can be a middle ground. There's a middle ground, okay? It doesn't have to be both the extremes. I love it when people go like, I don't agree with anything this person has to say, or I agree with everything this person has to say. No, it should never be like that. All the podcasts that I listen to on a weekly basis, there's times where I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. I'll even say that out loud. But it's enough to be like, okay, well, let's hear this conversation. I want to hear this conversation about this, or hear this conversation about that. Basically what happened, he was having one of his Fight Companion podcasts where he has a group of guys on. And some of them, you know, that he has on. And of course, they're drinking, they're smoking cigars, they're doing this thing. And so here's the clip that was going around. This is the clip that was going around when it came to Rogan. And this is what started off the new part of the discourse right here.
Did you guys see the new Superman trailer?
Who's playing Superman? Is it Henry Cavill?
Superman. I am not going to watch that movie. A dog saves him.
No, you're not. First
Jesus Christ! Is
you're not watching it.
Wait a minute. Is that a fucking super dog?
Look at this.
Is that a super dog?
First of all,
look, it's got super dogs dragging him to safety. It's over.
Listen to me. I watch this with the sound.
Look at the dog. Why is the dog able to drag him? He's taking that girl up in the sky to make out with her.
Hey, Matt, the dog's a bad choice. Huh?
Yeah.
But he's from another planet.
What happened to the original Superman?
Hold on.
I'm with you. No, not Christopher Reeves. He's paralyzed. I'm talking about the last guy.
So that was what was being passed around right there. Of course, they were like shitting all over the new Superman trailer, which is totally understandable. I was like, yeah, I did not think that Joe Rogan and these guys were actually going to be like, oh, yeah, we're looking forward to the new Superman. I think Brian Callen, though, I think he's all about it. So there was that got released, and it was just like, oh, okay. So that was being passed around, and it's kind of funny too, because I mean, you know, when it comes to the whole discourse of just politically, people will drop all that just to add, just like, oh, we have a new warrior on our side for the fandom discourse. It is kind of funny because I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you probably don't like Joe Rogan because, I mean, he had Trump on and all this. Okay, anyways. That's besides the point. Everybody's, you know, we're all hypocrites, right? We're all hypocrites. But so that was being passed around. I was seeing that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I was like, interesting. Okay, that's a whole new thing. And I'm like, something tells me there's probably going to be more context to this, right? There's always more context. And sure enough, yes, there is more context, because this is me just being the middle ground guy, being the devil's advocate. I'm like, yeah, this totally makes sense. Did I think that Joe Rogan was going to watch the new Superman movie? No, I didn't think he watched the previous Superman movies. He didn't seem like he had any interest. When he had Zack on, that was cool. What did they mainly talk about? Yeah, Zack talked about the Snyder Cut and talked about all that thing that was happening. Joe had no idea about all that. Felt like he had no idea. Joe kept on talking about 300 and Watchmen. And then we're talking about bodybuilding. So I was like, yeah, they were talking mainly about that. I don't think I was like Joe had, and anytime that Joe talked about Batman, he was always talking about Bale's Batman. Bale's Batman's the shit. And he always never likes Ben Affleck as Batman. Anytime I heard him. Let's show this clip right here just to, put everything in context, because here we go.
I don't think James Gunn could do any wrong.
I agree.
He's great.
James Gunn,
He's the man.
great.
He's the man. I'll see it
all
for him.
3 Guardians of the Galaxies were fucking
phenomenal.
He knows how to make you care about characters that you never heard
I
about.
don't care about
Like
that
a
dog.
fucking, like a
That
raccoon.
fake Superman dog.
Right.
Look, in the comic books, it's Superman dog.
Did you like Guardians of the Galaxy?
Crypto,
Yes.
the super dog.
Did you like?
Here's a dog. He drags
Mr. Grown-up,
Superman.
did you
Where's
like?
the
Did you like Guardians of the Galaxy?
I did.
Oh, well, there's a talking raccoon. How could you watch that?
I loved it.
Talking tree.
You know
Listen,
what? You know what,
Trey.
dude? You know what? If anybody can make a
That's
super
Vin
dog
Diesel.
awesome, it's
Does a good
James
job.
Gunn. I'm with you.
James Gunn.
Did they try canceling James Gunn for being mean on
I
set?
think so. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
he's
he
too
was like,
he's
what?
too talented.
Nah, I think it was some like tweets he did back in the day or some shit.
Some bullshit.
Whoopsies.
But anyway,
Yeah, he was saying funny things.
we're
Whoops.
all looking forward to it.
See? So then it's like you have that right there. Again, it's like now they're like going, hey, James Gunn's great. James Gunn's cool. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed that. Seems like Joe doesn't care about the Superdog. Sure. But at the same time, there you go. Then he just like, now you got both sides. Like, yeah, they're not going to watch it. And they're like, I'm out. And then you got that guy. I don't even know who that guy is, going like, well, if anybody could do it, James Gunn. And then Brian Callen also saying that too. So I'm like, the point I'm trying to bring up here is it's all stupid. Let's not do this. I would have never thought that Joe Rogan was going to be in favor of the new Superman movie or anything like that. And so that's why like this whole new thing when it comes to the discourse is just dumb. It's dumb, guys.